Upright at noon, bright and bright. Looking at the endless desert, there are heat waves everywhere, like a raging flame. Even if the wind blows, it is still hot. On a hill, a red figure stood opposite a group of black figures. The red figure is a woman, a red tight leather jacket, which outlines a perfect figure with a bumpy shape. He has big red long hair high, and the hair is a little bit flamboyant as the cold wind blows. On his face, a red and white red mask covered the face above the nose, only revealing the flaming red lips under the mask. Of course, there are also those eyes that are not covered by the mask, cold and sharp, which makes people feel an illusion of shooting through everything. She is the #1 killer in the killer world, Fire Phoenix. Standing opposite the Fire Phoenix, there are a dozen men and women in black costumes. They also wear different masks, and they are full of the killer's unique killing air. The gun in their hands, June facing the Fire Phoenix, deliberately ready to go. Looking at this posture, the red lips under the red mask evoked an arc of mockery, and said casually, "Hey Feng, you can really kill me in order to kill me." He Feng, that is, the woman standing at the forefront among the men in black. He has short black hair, a black and white mask, and black lipstick on his lips, which is very strange. He Feng is the second-ranked assassin, and has always been aiming to replace the Fire Phoenix, but no matter how hard she works, she still cannot replace the Fire Phoenix. Now, in order to kill the Fire Phoenix, Black Phoenix took the risk at all costs and united these elites in the killer world to kill her. The relationship between the killer and the killer is very delicate and sensitive. If there is no conflict of interest, the relationship is still harmonious, but as long as the interests are involved, it is destined to be either you or me. Now He Feng joins other assassins to kill her, and it's a matter of interest, it's simply seeking skin for the tiger. Haha! Who made you so powerful? I am alone, so I am no longer an opponent, so I have to do it, but... He Feng's voice was soft and lazy, and he admitted that he was not stingy at all. Strength. It was just the last one, but it was very meaningful, and it was obvious that Huo Phoenix hadn't been put in her eyes anymore, perhaps because she thought she had a chance to win. After a pause, he continued, however, based on the love of the sisters, as long as you hand over the Kunlun mirror, I can keep you alive, if not. Having said that, He Feng paused again. Yes, He Feng and Huo Feng were once sisters. They joined the organization, trained, and started out at the age of 10. For 10 years, they have always supported each other, born to death, stood out from thousands of killers, became famous, and have become the best partners. Otherwise, why are their code names taken from the word Phoenix? It's just that people's hearts are always unpredictable, because Black Phoenix always tends to be below Fire Phoenix, which makes her very unwilling and jealous, so she parted ways with Fire Phoenix 5 years ago, and vowed to surpass Fire Phoenix. But in the past 5 years, no matter how hard He Feng tried, he was still crushed by Fire Phoenix. For a long time, the contest between Black Phoenix and Fire Phoenix has only been on the task, and has never done anything that threatens her life. Therefore, in the past, Huo Phoenix also let the Black Phoenix jump. Only this time, He Feng had already threatened her life, and she naturally couldn't remain indifferent anymore. Like Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. After He Feng paused, he continued, then don't blame me for not letting you die. At the end of the day, He Feng's cold and mean nature has been exposed, because in her eyes, even if Huo Phoenix is about to die, it will not change her jealousy and hatred of her. Kunlun Mirror. It is said that in the Kunlun Temple in Kunlun Mountain, the hometown of immortals, there is a magical mirror with the power to change fate against the sky and travel through time and space. But in a grand gathering of immortals, the magic mirror was stolen, and the whereabouts of it has been unknown. However, some time ago, there were rumors that Kunlun Mirror appeared in the desert. Whether this rumor is true or false, according to the legend of Kunlun Mirror, the ability to change fate against the sky and the power to travel through time and space will attract countless people. As soon as this news came out, all parties were mobilized to look for Kunlun Mirror at any cost. Therefore, this task is no longer a separate task, but various organizations have been dispatched. This has also created a conflict of interests between the killer and the killer. During this period, many cannibalized each other. After heavy storms and blood, the Fire Phoenix obtained the Kunlun Mirror. However, after getting the Kunlun Mirror, he puts himself in a more dangerous situation. If the death of Fire Phoenix is compared with Kunlun Mirror, He Feng hopes that Fire Phoenix will die more. Therefore, she has stated that she will not take Kunlun Mirror, as long as Fire Phoenix lives, and cooperate with other killers. Of course, this is just a stopgap measure. After winning the Kunlun Mirror at that time, she will sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight and enjoy the benefits. Haha! Hearing this, Fire Phoenix sneered and said, "Are you sure? As long as I hand over the Kunlun Mirror, will you keep me alive? Don't you think this kind of deception to a 3-year-old child is too insulting to your own IQ yet? You!" He Feng's face turned pale, a little ashamed and angry. Indeed, even if Huo Phoenix handed over Kunlun Mirror, she would not let her go. Could it be that she let her go and let her come to her for revenge? So when she said that, it was just a tactic. However, she was unable to refute Huo Phoenix's retort. However, thinking that the Fire Phoenix would not be able to fly today, the anger in his heart was suppressed a little, and he coldly snorted, "Hey! So what? Do you think you can escape from birth today? Stop dreaming! Haha! Confidence is a good thing, but if you are overconfident, you will become arrogant. If you want to kill me, it depends on whether you have this ability." Hearing this, Huo Huangzi said with a smile. Huo Phoenix's words were arrogant and self-confident and conceited, but what she said from her mouth did not make people feel like that, as if she was a natural king, and what she said was beyond doubt. Although He Feng had a lot of people on his side and had a great advantage, it didn't mean that Fire Phoenix would be afraid and jealous. Has she experienced fewer killings? Has she experienced few bullet rain forests? As a killer, walking on the tip of a knife, she had already had the consciousness to lose her life at any time. Of course, this does not mean that she is not afraid of death, or spares her life, or put her life and death out of her life. People are afraid of death, because there is hope in life, and when they die, there is nothing left. It's just that for her, for life and death, they are more open than ordinary people. Especially as a killer, once she confronts the enemy, the result is doomed to either you die, or I die, so in her life, she will never give in. The big deal, the worst good result is to die together. However, the Fire Phoenix didn't think he would lose. How could he not have the superhuman ability if he could be the leader in the killer world? Like Domineering Crossing, the Ghost Eye Concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering Crossing, the Ghost Eye Concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. Seeing such a calm and confident Fire Phoenix, He Feng was a little uneasy, but after thinking about it, he felt a little ridiculous. Fire Phoenix is agile and has a very good marksmanship, but she only has 2 hands and only 2 guns. On the bullet, she has already lost. Besides, she didn't think that Fire Phoenix had this ability to avoid so many bullets fired at the same time. Huo Phoenix has always been arrogant and arrogant. If it weren't for her just pretending to be calm now, then she was too arrogant. Really? Let's see, who can laugh last? He Fengjian smiled coldly, looking at Huo Phoenix's eyes as if looking at a dead person, and then, the word shoot came from He Feng's mouth coldly. It spread out, exuding murderous aura. Following He Feng's order, the dozen or so assassins fired at the Fire Phoenix one after another, and a dozen rounds of bullets shot at her instantly. This battle is spectacular. The Huo Phoenix's complexion sank, and his whole body's momentum changed instantly. He raised his hands and shot at the opponent. At the same time, his body quickly dodged to avoid the incoming bullet. As He Feng expected, Fire Phoenix is agile and accurate, but she only has 2 hands and only 2 guns, so she can't shoot so many bullets at the same time. No, in the first round, Fire Phoenix was shot in the arm. However, it was only a bruise. Nevertheless, He Feng had to be surprised, jealous and unwilling. It seems that I really underestimate you. Oh! This is really the first time I heard you say that I underestimated me. 5 years ago you parted ways with me, aiming at surpassing me. I thought it was all because you kept looking up at me. Pretending to be surprised, but that tone was full of mockery. He Feng was angry and wanted to refute, but he couldn't refute it, because what Huo Huang said were facts. But so what? Now that you choose to face the Fire Phoenix, it is already doomed to end either you or me. Although the Fire Phoenix just scratched this time, then next time, that might not be the case. Shoot, He Feng shouted, and everyone once again shot at Huo Phoenix. Fire Phoenix knows that with her own skill and 2 guns, she can't beat the other side with so many bullets, but you must know that her strength is not agility and accurate marksmanship, but... Only seeing Fire Phoenix lose his hands, the pistol fell to the ground, and he couldn't avoid the bullets that came. In the eyes of everyone, Huo Phoenix was caught with his hands. He Feng's mouth raised a triumphant smile, but the next moment the smile froze. Because the bullet that was just fired was about to approach the Fire Phoenix. The Fire Phoenix's feet were like springs installed, and his entire body suddenly bounced, reaching a height of 3 meters, without accidentally dodge the bullet, and then steadily landed. This scene shocked everyone. What is going on? Do you think that if I can hold the top position, I don't have any unknown abilities? The corner of Huo Phoenix's mouth raised an evil and bloodthirsty smile, and seeing He Feng and others, it was like seeing a dead person. Up! Without waiting for He Feng and others to respond, they heard Fire Phoenix burst out, "Dragon scales, come out!" Suddenly, a cyan dagger appeared on Fire Phoenix's hand instantly, stimulating everyone's nerves again. Originally, Fire Phoenix could take out the dagger silently, but she didn't do that. She deliberately called out the dagger in front of everyone, shocking them and irritating them. However, this is nothing, and the more shocking things are yet to come. Like Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. With a ding, the dagger came out of its sheath, and the surrounding air suddenly changed. Except for the Fire Phoenix, no one could see it, and a black air blasted from the dagger towards He Feng and others. He Feng and the others only felt a chill coming, and their bodies trembled. Ben didn't care, but the cold air was getting worse. It was a kind of gloomy cold, with a suffocating rotten air. It's like standing at the gate of hell. This weird cold and breath shocked everyone, and they didn't understand that the weather that was so hot that it was unbearably hot before, became like this in the next moment. Despite their doubts, everyone did not have extra time to explore. On the battlefield, their brief absences were already a big taboo. Therefore, despite everyone's doubts and shock, they quickly reacted. Raised his hand, fired, and shot towards the Fire Phoenix. However, what they didn't expect was that they used their entire body to pull this wrench. I want to pull it again, but I have no strength. The hand slowly became stiff. The Fire Phoenix looked mocking, and he swung the dagger in the air several times, ding, 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 and all the bullets that were directed at the Fire Phoenix were knocked down. Of course, in order to prevent the Fire Phoenix from leaving the place and escaping the attack, the bullets were fired in full. Whoever wanted it, Fire Phoenix didn't leave the place at all, and with only a dagger, he could shoot down these bullets. No, how is this possible? He Feng's eyes widened incredulously, unable to accept what was happening at this moment. as did the others. They knew that the fire phoenix was powerful, but they thought that no matter how powerful they were, they could hardly beat the 4 punches. But what they didn't expect was that fire phoenix was never an ordinary existence. Since childhood, fire phoenix has had yin and yang eyes, commonly known as ghost eyes. Ghost eyes can see feminine and spiritual things that mortals cannot see, commonly known as spirits. The spirit bodies are respectively wandering souls, ghosts, evil spirits, and demons, which are divided into 6 levels in this order. 1 is a wandering soul. They are easygoing by nature, most of them die without any grievances in their lives, and they can go to heaven by themselves. It is invisible to the naked eye, and they will not actively attack humans. The 2nd is ghosts. They will not actively attack humans, but will only frighten those who can see them. They die naturally during their lifetimes, but they have some nostalgia for their lives and cannot be overwhelmed. The 3 are ghosts. They will only attack those who can see them, and they committed suicide before they were alive, and they also have resentment and cannot reincarnate. The 4 are evil spirits. They will also kill people who can see them, and evil spirits were killed by people before they were alive, so they have a lot of grievances. 5 evil spirits. Humans can also see them, and they will also actively attack humans. 6 are demons. They can be seen by anyone and will actively attack humans. They are evil people before they are alive, and whether they commit suicide or be killed, they will turn into demons after death. Although both evil spirits and demons can be seen by humans, spirit bodies are afraid of yang qi, so they dare not appear in crowded places. The spiritual power of the spiritual body comes from the absorption of yin qi, and the heavier yin qi is the spiritual body itself. Therefore, spirit bodies above the level of evil spirits will swallow spirit bodies lower than their own to strengthen their spiritual power, and evil spirits can evolve into evil spirits, and evil spirits can also evolve into demons. In other words, the devil is the evolution of evil spirits, and once the spirit body is swallowed, it cannot be overtaken. Like Domineering crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. Of course, not everyone will become ghosts, evil spirits, and demons that cannot be reborn after death. In addition to strong obsessions or resentments, it still depends on chance, and even more to hide. Survive the arrest of hell. If not, the world is full of spirits, and it will be messy. Fire Phoenix was abandoned by the family because seeing the spirit body affected her normal life and was always frightened crazy. Then, she was brought into the organization by her boss. Of course, she has the secret of ghost eyes, except for the boss who brought Fire Phoenix into the organization, not even Black Phoenix, who has been with the Fire Phoenix sisters for more than 10 years. After all, everyone has secrets that are unknown. Of course, ghost eyes can only see feminine and spiritual things that mortals can't see, and it has little to do with the power of Fire Phoenix itself. Fire Phoenix really became unusual because of a mission 5 years ago. Assassin, the task is not necessarily to kill, but also to or find valuable items. In fact, killers and mercenaries are no different from bandits. 5 years ago, after parting ways with Black Phoenix, Fire Phoenix took on a task of searching for a 1000-year blood jade plate. That mission was similar to this mission to find Kunlun mirror. Many organizations dispatched personnel. Let's leave aside the battle between the Fire Phoenix and the killers in other organizations. Let's talk about what happened when the Fire Phoenix looked for a 1000-year blood jade plate and came to a 1000-year-old tomb. The Fire Phoenix originally had yin and yang eyes, and when it came to the ancient tomb, it was understandable to see the spirit body. It's just that Huo Phoenix's luck is really bad. She actually encountered an evil spirit in the ancient tomb, which is simply too embarrassing for Huo Phoenix. Since she could see the spirit body, Huang Zhuge hasn't seen any attacking spirit body yet, so she didn't know how to deal with the spirit body. Knives and guns are useless for spirit bodies at all. Even if the Fire Phoenix is not greedy for life or fear of death, he still cares about his life. There are only 36 strategies, which is the best strategy. It's just that these are evil spirits, so how can they let the fire phoenix go? No, I only ran a few steps. With a wave of the evil spirit, the fire phoenix flew out and hit the coffin, and a mouthful of blood spurted out, which happened to be sprayed on a rusty dagger in the coffin. Then, a weird scene happened. After the rusty dagger was soaked in the blood of the fire phoenix, it seemed to be alive, and it trembled, frightening the fire phoenix, and hurriedly got up and backed away. Moreover, with the shaking of the dagger, the rust on the top of the dagger slowly dropped and turned into a brand new cyan dagger. Before the fire phoenix had reacted from the shock, the dagger flew up with a swish, rushing into the tomb. It was a rampage. Rather than attacking those evil spirits, the fire phoenix was even more dumbfounded. The spirit body will not be injured, will not bleed, will not die, but will hurt the vitality, will be wiped out. However, the spirit body is not so easy to be wiped out, especially the spirit body with higher spiritual power. These spirit bodies have spent thousands of years in this place with strong yin, their spiritual power is naturally not low. However, this dagger was awesome. After a while, the vitality of those evil spirits was greatly reduced by the dagger, making them jealous, and they retreated. But what was incredible was that after driving away the spirit body, the dagger flew into Fire Phoenix's hands automatically. What made Fire Phoenix also incredible was that after the dagger was held in her hand, there was more information about the dagger in her mind. This dagger is called Dragon Scale. The reason why Dragon Scale is called Dragon Scale is because this dagger is actually made of dragon scales. In the age when the 4 great beasts still existed, the Dragon Scale dagger was Azure Dragon's personal belongings. Like Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. The Dragon Scale dagger was originally a divine object, with aura, but later, for some reason, it fell into the world and was obtained by the people of the demon race. It was repaired with its magic, and then sucked a lot of evil energy, making the Dragon Scale dagger become a fierce evil, very murderous weapon. Thousands of years ago, the Dragon Scale dagger caused a lot of storms in the rivers and lakes, killing many people, and was finally sealed by Master Yi Tian and sealed in this tomb. The Fire Phoenix's blood soaked the Dragon Scale dagger, and the accidental collision removed its seal, and then the dagger recognized her as the master. The Dragon Scale dagger is a fierce thing. Once a mortal gets into the body by the evil aura of the Dragon Scale dagger, it will be eroded by the cold, the facial features will be blocked and become suffocated. Then, the limbs will gradually become stiff. If it is not controlled in time, the light ones will be paralyzed, and the severe ones will burst and die. The fierceness of the Dragon Scale dagger is both greedy and fearful to the spirit body. Why? Because the fierce aura of the Dragon Scale dagger is the best energy source for spiritual body to cultivate spiritual power. If the fierce aura of the Dragon Scale dagger can be absorbed, then the spiritual power of the spiritual body will be doubled. However, once the Dragon Scale dagger cannot be subdued, and the fierce aura of the dagger cannot be absorbed, it may backlash and hurt vitality. After the Fire Phoenix was recognized by the Dragon Scale dagger, the evil spirit would naturally not hurt the Fire Phoenix, and it was also controlled by the Fire Phoenix. After all, the evil spirit is harmful, and the Fire Phoenix naturally doesn't want to let the Dragon Scale release the evil spirit easily. In addition, the Dragon Scale dagger can be invisible. This is also the time when the Fire Phoenix suddenly couldn't find the Dragon Scale. After calling out, he saw the Dragon Scale suddenly appear. Now, the Fire Phoenix completely released the evil spirit of the Dragon Scales. Although the Black Phoenix people have good physical constitution, they have no internal protection body after all, so they can't resist the invasion of evil energy at all. In just a minute, they were already unable to move. They couldn't even speak, but their eyes were staring with horror, covered with red threads. There is a saying that you don't die, even if we don't agree, as long as you don't act on me, I never thought of killing you. Today, it's your own death. If I don't accomplish you, then it's mine." The Fire Phoenix expression was full of irony, and as he said, he walked towards He Feng and the others. Now they have no ability to resist, and they are waiting to be slaughtered. As a killer, Fire Phoenix thought he had enough intentions. Even if He Feng betrayed the friendship between them, even if she knew He Feng was jealous of her, but before He Feng directly acted on her, she still did not move her. Although she is a killer, she is not a squanderer, and she doesn't kill everyone. Until now, the tasks she has taken and the people she killed are all damned people. Sometimes she even feels that she is not qualified to be a killer at all, because a killer has always been heartless. She never pursued fame and fortune, just wanted to live arbitrarily, but she still took that position. Perhaps this is the ability. Although she has the word forgiveness in her heart, it is only used on people who have not yet reached the point, but once there is a threat and injury to her actual actions, she will never be merciful. The Fire Phoenix came to the He Feng group and smiled bloodthirsty. Then, with a move, he passed in front of the group. The knives rose and fell, and dozens of killers were splattering blood, underground, and dying in panic. In the end, only He Feng remained. When the Fire Phoenix was about to act on He Feng, an accident happened. In the distance, a powerful tornado swiftly struck in their direction, so fast that it was too late for the Fire Phoenix to escape. That momentum seemed to wipe out the entire natural world under its lustful might. Although Fire Phoenix had the ability to guard against the sky, she was actually a body of flesh and blood. After a while, she was caught in the sand and lost consciousness. Like Domineering crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. Tianyun Continent, East Qingguo, 21 years of Emperor Li. On the 4th day of April, Xiongguo Temple was 20 miles away from the capital. This day is the annual temple fair of Xiongguo Temple. Whether it is the dignitaries or the common people, they all come to pray for blessings, and it is very lively. However, in the back mountain of the temple, things that are not in harmony with today are happening. On the edge of the cliff, stood a thin young girl with a plain coat and good facial features, but her face was grey and autumn. Even her hair was messy like a chicken coop, with a few weeds stuck in it. Is this a beggar? Standing opposite the girl, there is a pair of handsome men and beautiful women. The man wore a blue brocade robe, his bright, white face was full of sharp and angular langjun, and his dark and deep eyes revealed a trace of anger. The thick eyebrows, the tall nose, and the beautiful lips, none no longer flaunting nobility and resistance. The woman wears a pink long dress with gold silk and soft smoke tied around her waist into a big bow, and her temples are slanted with jasper chan and phoenix hairpins, showing a slender, coquettish, and charming soul. It's just that the alluring posture is full of viciousness, so it's a lot of vulgarity. Do you think, what do you want to do? The trembling voice of the beggar girl was crying, her eyes widened with deep fear. Behind her, there is a cliff, as long as you step back a few steps, you will fall off. What do you want to do? Of course, I want you to die. The sarcastic female voice showed a little arrogance, and the eyes of the girl looked like a dead person. You. Despite what had been expected, the beggar girl was so scared that she couldn't speak, and her gaze became more and more frightened when she saw the men and women. What am I? Huang Zhuge, do you know how much you shouldn't live in this world? Look at your appearance, dirty and messy, like a beggar, and a fool than a beggar. I want to marry brother Hao too, it's just a foolish dream. Huo Qingqing said disgustedly. After speaking, his voice became gritted and his complexion became distorted and hideous. Thinking about it, she hated Huang Zhuge. Yes. Can you not hate it? She likes brother Hao, and brother Hao also likes her, but there is a Huang Zhuge among them. Had it not been for Huang Zhuge to occupy the position of princessin, she would have been able to become the princess of Brother Hao. No, no, I don't have it. That is the marriage contract between Niangkin and Concubine Shu. Huang Zhuge immediately retorted as soon as she heard it, fearful and unwilling. They all said she was stupid, but she knew that it was a marriage contract between the mother and the concubine Shu. Hao's brother is her fiancé and will be her husband. So what? Brother Hao won't marry you anyway, and if you die today, Brother Hao will marry me soon. Huo Qingqing raised her eyebrows slightly, full of pride. It's fixed. No, 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 I want to tell the emperor, you bully me. Huang Zhuge was afraid and anxious, and she cried. Moreover, Huang Zhuge, who has always been bullied and will not complain, actually knows today that he is posing as the emperor. This surprised Nangang Yuhao a little bit. However, it is more disdainful, het. Tell the emperor? Do you really think that the emperor will call the shots for you? Of course, there are complaints while disdain. He knew that the reason why his father did not agree with him in Huang Zhuge's dissolution of marriage was not because his father liked Huang Zhuge so much. In the beginning, it was because the Huang family had just died. In order to show his love and righteousness to his benefactor, even though Huang Zhuge had become stupid, he was not allowed to divorce. Like Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. Second, seeing that his power has gradually grown in recent years, he has been suppressed. Since ancient times, which emperor did not remember the throne, although the prince's succession is the unchanging rule of survival for the royal family, it is not allowed to be blatant, let alone threaten the emperor. Provoked the emperor's majesty, even if he was a son, he would not recognize him. However, Nangang Yuhao now gets rid of Huang Zhuge. Although he will defy the emperor, he has no fear of being held accountable, even if he is most suspected. Not to mention that since he dared to do it, he would not leave evidence to confuse himself. Even if his father knew that he did it, he would not deal with him for the sake of a Huang Zhuge, at most he would be dissatisfied with him. Moreover, Huang Zhuge was originally a fool, and it was reasonable to say that she was lost because of playfulness. Who could say anything? Hao, brother Hao, please, please let me go. Huang Zhuge is stupid, but it doesn't mean that she has no thoughts or sanity. Nangang Yuhao said that, he knew that the emperor would not be the master of her, so he had to beg for mercy. Nangang Yuhao didn't speak, but Huo Qingqing spoke first, let you go? If you let go, you won't lie to you, Huang Zhuge, accept your fate. No, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Huang Zhuge cried in horror, not miserable. Don't want to die? Oh! This can't be for you. Huo Qingqing sneered, with killing intent between her eyes. Huang Zhuge, don't blame this king, blame it, just blame your existence for blocking this king's way, so you must, beard, and die. Although Nangang Yuhao resents Huang Zhuge very much, at this moment, the voice of speaking is very flat. Yes. For a dying person, there is no need for him to have too many emotions. After that, he kicked towards Huang Zhuge, and Huang Zhuge, who was unable to resist, was kicked into the air like a kite with a broken line, falling down the cliff, leaving only a cry of exclamation. Madare Shishi Fire Phoenix, who was gradually regaining consciousness, heard a chicking sound in his ear, and the cool thing swept across the skin of Fire Phoenix's wrist, making Fire Phoenix aroused. Even if she couldn't see it at the moment, she knew that it was a snake. A chill came from her heart. God knows, she is most afraid of snakes. Suddenly, the Fire Phoenix opened his eyes suddenly, with sternness and vigilance, like a beast ready to go, ready to rush forward and give a fatal blow to its prey. Especially when you feel threatened. After many years of assassin's career, Fire Phoenix has formed such a habit, which is completely conditioned. Sure enough, as soon as she opened her eyes, she saw a snake about 1 meter long and as thick as a baby's arm, crossed by black and white across her wrist. The fire phoenix's stomach surged, making him nauseous, but at the same time he conditioned it to shake it hard, and immediately threw the snake out, and the snake that was thrown out quickly disappeared into the grass. Then Huo Phoenix stood up immediately, for fear of something disgusting underground that would disgust her. Before he had time to wonder about the matter at this moment, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him, and the fire phoenix subconsciously stepped back several steps. It was a thin girl, dressed in a plain coat, a grey face, and her hair was messy like a chicken coop. Is this a beggar? Maybe. I don't know if the other party is a beggar fire phoenix, but what she knows is that the girl standing in front of her is just a touch of spirit now. Like Domineering crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. It means that she is dead, but she just died. However, she did not want to leave, obviously because of her obsession. While the fire phoenix was surprised by the girl looked at her in surprise, and said to herself, I actually lived, isn't it right? It's my corpse that actually survived, then, maybe there are two am I? It's not right, I'm just a touch of soul now. So what is going on? Hearing the girl's puzzled and tangled words, Huo Phoenix couldn't help but drop a few black lines on her forehead, indicating that she didn't know what she was talking about, only that she was puzzled and tangled. Also, Fire Phoenix didn't even know that he had come back from the dead after occupying someone's body, so naturally he couldn't understand the meaning of the girl's words. Who am I? Hey, no, who are you? No, it's who I am or who you are. The girl asked Xiang Huohuang because she couldn't come up with an answer, but she asked. Also felt something was wrong, and tangled again. Huo Phoenix's face twitched fiercely, and he held his forehead speechlessly, shouted silently, My God! Where's the idiot spirit body? Wrong. Suddenly, Fire Phoenix felt that something was wrong. What do you think is wrong? Isn't she caught in the yellow sand? It stands to reason that she has no chance of survival at all. But she is conscious now. Moreover, she felt the chill caused by the wind, and she felt the pain from her limbs. These feelings were not the feelings of the spiritual body. So this shows that she is not dead. But the fire phoenix immediately looked around. There were towering ancient trees that obscured the sky, a typical ancient forest, and there was a decadent breath and chill in the air. However, why did she appear in this inexplicable place? To the hot desert, it's like a sudden change in time and space. Congratulations, you guessed it, she really traveled through time and space. It's just that she doesn't know it yet. Fire Phoenix immediately looked at his body, but this look was even more shocking than just discovering that his situation had changed. What she wore was not her original red leather tights, but a plain ancient costume. Also, her hair, which used to be big red waves, is now black. She can't see whether it is straight or curly, but she can see a mess. Also, her hands have become smaller. The most important thing is that her current look is exactly the same as the girl opposite. No, she thought, she already understood what the girl said just now. Her current body was basically the body of the spirit girl in front of her, and she, after she died, possessed the spirit body on the girl's body, borrowed the corpse, and returned the soul. Therefore, in the eyes of the girl, her body was alive and became two selves. Although this answer surprised Huo Phoenix, she didn't feel unbelievable, because she was an unusual existence. However, looking at the girl's dress was actually an ancient costume. This made Fire Phoenix puzzled. Could it be that she borrowed the corpse to return to ancient times? But at this moment, what Fire Phoenix cares most is not whether she borrowed the corpse to recover from ancient times, but, since she is no longer the original one, what about her dragon scale dagger? Did it disappear too? Thinking about it, Fire Phoenix had already used consciousness to feel the existence of the dragon scale dagger. What made Fire Phoenix happy is that the dragon scale dagger still exists. Like Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update. As for the reason why she borrowed the corpse to resurrect her soul, the first thing Fire Phoenix thought of was Kunlun Mirror, because it was said that Kunlun Mirror had the power to change life against the sky and travel through time and space. However, the dragon scale dagger is still there, but the Kunlun Mirror is gone. Hey! Who am I or who you are? The girl's voice rang in Huo Phoenix's ears, recalling Huo Phoenix's short-minded thoughts. It can be seen from the girl's question that the girl's mind is not that mature. Then tell me, who are you? Huang Zhuge asked rhetorically. Now that she has occupied someone's body, she naturally has to figure out the information about this body first. I am Huang Zhuge, the daughter of Dong King Guo Yuaning Honalan Jin. Huang Zhuge, the eldest daughter of Dongqing Ko Yuan Ning Kao Nalan Jin, 14 years old, is the second-tier princess appointed by the emperor, and the fiancée of the third son of the emperor and Wang Nanggong Yu Hao. The reason why Huang Zhuge's surname is Huang, not Nalan, is because of her ancestral ancestors. Those who have the blood of the Huang family are named Huang, even if they are the children of married women. Therefore, Huang Zhuge followed her mother's last name. Because Huang Zhuge's mother was born in a general, she practiced martial arts since she was a child, and has a good knowledge of piano, chess, calligraphy, and painting. At the age of 8, she was already a talented girl in the capital circle of aristocrats. Therefore, her fiancé Nanggong Yuhao also likes her tightly. Unexpectedly, 4.5 years ago, when Huang Zhuge was 10 years old, there was a riot at the border. Grandpa and uncle, a general, died on the battlefield. After learning about it, his mother was irritated and fell ill, and finally died. And Huang Zhuge was seriously ill because of this, and after waking up, he became foolish. Because of this, Huang Zhuge's miserable life began. His father did not love, his aunt abused, and his sister deceived. Even the subordinates could beat and scold at will. Finally, he was pushed off the cliff by his fiancée and rivals. Then, there will be the rest. Of course, the girl who claimed to be Huang Zhuge was not so clear. It was just that when Huang Zhuge told Huo Huang something, in Huo Huang's mind, she knew more unknowingly, just like the memory of Huang Zhuge. It flooded into Huo Phoenix's mind. Perhaps it was the reason why the body of the Fire Phoenix's spirit Phoenix Zhuge merged. When talking about Nanggong Yuhao and Huo Qingqing, Huang Zhuge's complexion, eyes, and breath have obviously changed. The most obvious is hatred and unwillingness. Why? Why do they treat me this way? Is it my fault to be stupid? I don't want it either. Is it my fault to have a marriage contract with Brother Hao? That is the marriage contract between the concubine Shu and the mother. Let the emperor give what a marriage. At the end of the talk, Huang Zhuge had already released his life and cried out, so she was not wronged. Just because of the spirit body, there are no tears to shed. At first, Huo Phoenix thought that this girl was just obsessed and refused to leave. After all, she just died. After death, most people lose consciousness after the spirit body leaves the body, and everything in the world has nothing to do with it and will leave. However, if obsession and resentment are too heavy, people will still be unable to forget after death and will not leave. It was just unexpected that Huang Zhuge had such a big grievance. She couldn't forget it, and she didn't want to leave, so naturally she couldn't be overwhelmed or reborn. It is undeniable that Huo Huang sympathizes with Huang Zhuge, and also feels sorry for Huang Zhuge. For the first time, he has not been bullied and pity a person because of his cowardice. Because becoming stupid is not what she wants. After being stupid, she is like an ignorant child, extremely vulnerable. Now Huang Zhuge is not stupid, but he is already dead. Like Domineering Crossing, the ghost eye concubine of the Storm King, please collect it. Domineering Crossing, the Ghost Eye Concubine of the Storm King has the fastest literary update.